need to mute their watch page.
That's my phone. Sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? I welcome out to our fourth 0 hour. It's nice to have everybody with us tonight. Tonight I'd like to talk about stuff going forward. And that doesn't mean we can't get into stuff that goes back a little bit, but it all ties in together. But I more so want to be focused on things that can keep us happy, getting us through our day to day stuff that we may not recognize or take for granted, and things that we can do to try to find provide ourselves with and our families with some happiness and just getting through our lives as productive and truth-telling people that believe that we're doing the best that we can do, and that's everybody that would be in here and anybody that's on our panel this evening. And speaking of the panel, we have Independent Press Project, Erick and Brian. What's going on, guys?
Hello, everybody. What's up, Mike?
Hello.
Erick, how you doing, brother?
He's probably making popcorn.
Yeah, he's getting his popcorn.
He always does that at the beginning of the show. He's like, peace. Oh.
Yeah, welcome out. Goodbye. It's all good. It's all good. I wanted to take a few minutes here at the top of the show to talk about some of the things that have been going on the past couple of days. I don't know. Hopefully, everybody that's here hanging with us. Oh, there he is. Dropped out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, can hear you now.
I see how it is, people.
Getting dumped. Who's hanging in the chat with us tonight? One Foot on the Beach, 222, Danny, Rutger, Ryan, Lee. I saw Lee Stewie in there earlier. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. John, how you doing? Kier. Nice to have you guys with us tonight. Thank you for hanging out. Erick, you wrote a handful of articles over the past couple of days that definitely I enjoyed. If you guys in the chat or anybody listening hasn't had an opportunity to get over to iCitizenNews.net and look at the work that everybody's doing over there, check out the articles that Erick and B and and Kriegs and Bobby here. Where's
Not
Bobby?
me. I ain't did shit all week.
Bobby dropped out too.
I've been tied up, man. I've been super busy, like trying to deal with work and just the whole trip to DC was right in the middle of it all. But I have not done a whole lot over on the website.
Right.
I think I added a couple of the podcast items this week.
Call.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Whom it may dropped out. He's been doing a lot of work as far as the podcasting stuff is concerned too. There's a SoundCloud page now. If anybody's interested in hearing recaps of any of the shows, they're on our SoundCloud. Bobby has Whom it may has been taking the time to put all that up there and edit down everything and give us highlights.
I think you got a problem with your stream, no?
I'm not sure. Who, me?
Yeah. Is that you? Is that the lag on your end, or?
I'm showing my stream.
Yeah,
health
everyone's
is strong.
Yeah, they're saying it's buffering in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing stream health is strong.
It's actually pretty bad on my end too.
Yeah, mine is buffering on my end.
Whoa!
I noticed a lot. I noticed your watchers went straight down to the bottom. So,
but he's having a lot of graphical issues right now, Mike. You're really having a lot of graphic issues. It's like it just keeps bleeding out.
Yeah, it's strange. I'm not doing anything differently than I've done before. All my settings are exactly the same.
What do you use? Do you have a wired internet or what?
Let me write something in the chat here.
Any outputs to change this setting. It says that the video output is currently online. Please turn off any to change the video settings. So I can't change the settings with it live. That's strange. Are you guys clear? Yeah. All right. Everybody okay? You guys hearing everything good now?
Did you guys just hear me chewing this entire time? I'm sorry.
It's okay, Eric.
It's looking good now.
Yeah, I
It's
think
looking
so
good
too.
now.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. Well. All right. Let's. Yeah. I mean, it's showing stream health is good the whole time, so it's been solid green. But this is what we run into. At least me every week. It's okay. Getting it worked out. Eric, do you have the
You have
articles?
lag problems every week?
No, it was a microphone issue the first week. Second week, I think, was pretty good. No problems. Third week, a microphone issue again. I seem to have resolved the microphone issue this week, and I'm running into lag problems.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Eric, you have an interest in recapping the last couple articles, or at least the two that you wrote today? We were talking about the food production.
I'm looking for the article right now. There it is. Are you presenting it, or do you want me to screen share?
I can. You can screen share if you'd like, or I can bring it over. Either way.
I'll screen share. Okay, is everyone able to see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So as you guys see, there's some whatever the heck that is, and some carrots, and whatever that is, and that. Well, that's not pertaining to the article. That's just me being random. But 40% of food production in the United States never gets eaten. Yes, I have a New Jersey accent. People deal with it. 40%. The numbers are as shocking as they are appalling. In the United States, at a time when 1 in 8 families in America struggles to put dinner on the table, whopping 40% of the food produced in the country never gets eaten. Some of it rots in the field before it can get harvested and gets lost or damaged during processing and packaging. Other food items get tossed on the way to market because they're too ugly to be displayed in the grocery store. The grocery store's definition of ugly is different than the actual definition of an ugly fruit to the standard person. They want that perfect unit, perfect chunkinicity on the same exact size, same everything on the fruit. So if it's slightly different, yeah, it's being thrown away. Thousands of pounds of leftovers end up in the trash because by the time we remember they're in the fridge, they're moldy. Confusion over labels only adds to the problem. If you don't know the difference between Best By and advisory, that simply means the product will taste best up until that date, but it's still edible a few days after, and sell by, a date that helps store keep track of inventory that needs to be bought by a certain time. You are not alone. Labels can be so tricky to negotiate. They vary from state to state or even manufacturer to manufacturer. That 90% of Americans throw away food that's perfectly edible. 20% of the food we buy never gets eaten. Insane.
Absolutely nuts. It's a lot of food. It's a huge waste. A lot more can be done with it. I know that I know that a lot of places like Panera, places like that, when they have their leftovers, they take them over to food pantries and things like that. And it would be nice to see some type of place that people could do it.
Exactly. And even right here inside the article, it states, all told, we toss more than 23 pounds of food per person per month at home and in restaurants, or 35 pounds per person if you add in food retail.
It's based on a year, right?
No, that's per month.
Oh, that's per month. Yeah. Not so good. So, if there's any conscious efforts anybody can make to keep that in the forefront of their mind.
Oh, shoot, sorry guys.
And if you guys really want to see the numbers, like if none of that may have really got you thinking about it, right here it says, as a result, the average family of four throws out $1,500 worth of food each year to the combined annual tune of $165 billion. In home kitchens, fruits and vegetables get wasted the most, 52%, because they're perishable and, this is in quotations, are not the most convenient foods to cook, end quote. Birkenap says, we also toss half of all seafood and close to 40% of grain products. When it comes to meat and dairy products, we are a little more careful, wasting about 20% of each. To put this in perspective, it's enough food to feed 25 million Americans, according to a 2012 NRDC issue paper, or the entire population of Texas. And Texas is 8 people.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
All right. Well, that's good job on putting that info out there, Eric.
What really got me with this, and this guy says, and fruits and vegetables are not the most convenient foods to cook.
Yeah.
Who the hell said something stupid like that?
Right. I mean, generalizing the whole category like that is
yeah.
I had baked zucchini for dinner tonight. That was a good cooked vegetable.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Any vegetable on the grill is about good. Just about.
What? Who was this?
Who made that?
That's Bobby D. I snuck it here.
Where did country come from?
Creeping. Absolutely creeping. What's up?
Well, you know that wasn't Chico.
Squash on the grill? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Taters.
everything's good on the grill though. You're right about that, man. I gotta agree with you.
All about the peppers.
Oh, peppers. Yeah, peppers are great on the grill. Peppers are great anywhere too. Peppers and onions, man. They make everything taste good.
Hot dogs and applesauce.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't know what you talking about.
Hot dogs and applesauce. That's for you to be free. Hot dogs and applesauce.
Copyright. Just kidding. All right, so good. Make sure you guys, if you get a chance.
God, it's like I turn one thing down and the other thing goes off, man.
That's the story of our lives, man. How about the next story? How about the other story you wrote today, Eric?
How about this story? Let's do a blast from the past story. How about we talk about the Planned Parenthood shooter? Would my phone shut the hell up? So is anybody aware that he was sentenced to life in a medical institution without a trial?
No.
I was not aware of that.
Yep. The judge declared him medically incapable to stand trial and sentenced him to indefinite detention at a medical facility. Buried. Done. Now, if anybody remembers exactly how this all unfolded, when that happened, we were covering it live. Remember that, Eric? And it was reported as a bank robbery. He had a rifle and he had a propane tank at that bank.
It was November 27th, 2015 in Colorado Springs.
That's right. And during him evading the police, he went into that Planned Parenthood that was only partially complete getting built. And the narrative changed. It was no longer a bank robbery. It was a Planned Parenthood mass shooting. And then they said that he was saying he was a warrior for the children and that God sent him. He came from North Carolina. He lived in the mountains of North Carolina. So, yeah, he's got indefinite detention at a medical institution. Oh yeah, and during his trial, he was the guy who was telling the judge that he wanted to defend himself and he didn't want a doctor and he didn't want any of this stuff because all they were going to do is give him drugs and make him crazy.
What is it after that? They put him in a psych ward.
After that, yeah, they locked him up and threw away the key. No trial. Indefinite detention.
Indefinite detention. So 3 were killed.
Which means you'll never be able to find out anything because HIPAA laws will protect him from anybody ever requesting any kind of a FOIA. You can't get into medical stuff. There will never be a case filed. There won't be anything. There was no trial. So I could
That's pretty
say,
scary when you think about it.
Yeah,
No
I can
kidding.
say at this point that would be false flag confirmed, man.
Well, he got, the charge was for it was a police officer and 2 civilians that were killed, but the total 5 police officers and 4 civilians were injured in addition to that. So there were 12 total separate situations, 3 deaths and 9 injuries. And this is the result of what happened with that. The guy called himself a warrior for the babies.
Yeah.
I
Did he call himself that, or was that something that he was labeled?
I've got
Something
it
he
in
was
That's what they
marketed
said. He
as.
said.
I've got
That's
it
what
in
they
quotes.
reported. He said that.
Yeah.
That's the part that bothers me. It's like that's what they said. He said. Like we don't have any.
I mean, we might be able to find audio of it, but I'm pretty sure that was they reported it that way. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
So I
for
mean,
the,
23 people watching
he's
and only
locked up
17 thumbs up.
indefinitely.
It's crazy. Can I say something
23
unrelated
people
for a
watching,
second?
17 thumbs. 23 people watching, 17 thumbs. Hit them thumbs, guys.
Can I say something unrelated?
Nope. Not my show.
see how long it takes him to sit there. I was just gonna let it ride out, but it's cool. It's cool. Go ahead, Eric. What's up?
Jeff Bezos has been announced as the 2nd world's richest man with $72 billion.
Well,
He's a pretty rich fella.
Sure enough, people are applauding him for his work and dedication. If you just type in his name on Twitter, you'll see all of that.
I mean, all politics aside, the guy's done a lot of things,
Sure, I agree with that. He's done
Like you
a
just
lot.
said, all politics aside.
Yeah, politics aside, you add politics to it, and I want to poke him with a prod, a hot one, with my initials on it. BR. Yeah, and that's called a prod. That's what you do. You prod people. What's that thing called? You poke the back of a cow ass with it. You brand them.
A prod.
A branding iron. A
I
prod.
think it's called a branding iron.
Oh, the prod is the electric one, I think. So yeah, branding iron.
Oh, fuck it. Well, then I want to use the electric one too.
All right.
I want to put one on each side of his head.
He's going to hook up jumper cables
I would say to put a design on them, but we're live and I gotta.
I'm gonna zap it. Be like, you will like freedom. You won't weaponize your drones.
Freedom. Eric, tell me about this $1 billion worth of cocaine that was seized by the Coast Guard. I'm looking at this picture, and they've got literally, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5, 31 pallets of cocaine on the back of this Coast Guard ship here. What happened with that, man?
That's what was seized from different boats and submarines and everything that were trying to make it across the borders. Well, not technically our borders, but this is what the Coast Guard was able to seize inside of the Eastern Pacific Ocean, down over inside of that area.
Right. So this was all seized during a 26-day period, it says?
Yes, and this is from 17 separate vessels.
Wholesale $420 million, over $1 billion worth of cocaine in street value. It was all seized in international waters off the in the Eastern Pacific. Sorry, so this one got 5.19 tons, 5.79, 1 ton, 3 tons, and 1 ton. So the Coast Guard cutter Mohawk was responsible for 7 cases and got the most out of the 5 separate ships involved. And they seized 5.79 tons of cocaine during that 26-day period. That is an insane amount of cocaine.
Where is this coming from?
South America, Colombia.
Well, we know that, but I'm saying, like, why is it not noticeable that a whole bunch of cocaine is coming off of the coastline?
Well, they need to change their tactics. The problem is we're a little more advanced up here than some of the people that are trying to jump in these semi-submersible, things and basically paddle from Cuba to Florida, and we're catching them with the snap of a finger. It doesn't take much anymore. We've got the technology.
Not all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's just what they got too, because there are methods. They're smart.
Living in Florida, I've seen them all, man. That banana thing, I've seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not the first time they tried that whole stuff the plantains with cocaine,
Mm-hmm.
and like they do it. They've done it with baby dolls. They've done it with everything, man. They've done it with any way that you can think of them trying to hide.
If you can stuff something in it, they're stuffing coke in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that means bodies, humans, everything.
Oh yeah.
Rutger, as much as I appreciate your question, I think I can safely say that I don't think we can ever expect Western countries to legalize cocaine.
No, that's probably not going to happen.
No.
We're going to have a hard enough time keeping weed as accessible as it is right now, and I ain't even a weed guy.
Well, I don't think that's a necessary thing to say. I think you mean purity, it being actual marijuana.
What? I'm just talking about pot.
Like, I'm saying it as in, like, I'm sure you all saw the studies that they're doing to make genetically modified and lacing it with the synthetics.
Well, all pot's genetically modified. Anything over like 8% THC is a genetically modified strain. That's why, like, anytime if somebody calls it anything other than just dirt weed, it's a genetically modified strain.
Right.
Got the little furs and the colors and the crystals and
they've been doing it for years, though, for many years.
Right. Yeah, that's the one time all the hippies are like, GMOs are cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got that
when they're crossbreeding their strains of marijuana. Yeah,
right.
Those are awesome.
But I have a feeling that when they start rolling out all of their stuff with these new laws, they're going to start tightening up again on pot, because as far as I know, Chris Christie isn't a big fan, is he?
No.
So Chris Christie.
Only thing I have to say for that, all I have to say for that, just because I lived in New Jersey while he was governor, he's Chris Christie. That's the answer to every question right there. He's Chris Christie.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Christie and Sessions on the drug run, but are they really going to try to stop anything?
I don't think. Look, this is my personal opinion. I don't think Christie gives a shit. I think if everybody was in favor of it and he's getting paid for it, he's down. If everybody's against it, he's getting paid for it, he's down. That's Chris Christie. Jeff Sessions, he's just an old ass guy, and he still thinks marijuana kills you and makes you a zombie. And
well, we don't really know that he may be out there smoking for all we know.
Yeah.
No, he said it himself. He said anybody who smokes marijuana, no good person wants to smoke marijuana or something like that.
Look, we clearly have a problem with people kicking the bucket because of opioids, because of synthetic opioids, and they're going to continue to push that like crazy in a medicinal use and get people addicted. But we're talking pot.
Right.
Pot is harder to get legally than it is to get the opioids, which they're creating panels and task forces, and it's the number one accidental killer in the country right now.
Yep, I've seen so much.
It's funny
of that
you say that too, because I just clicked on my news aggregator and it says heroin epidemic expands its grip on America. Literally.
Well, it's not even heroin. I mean, there's just a synthetic heroin, the heroin that we're making in our manufacturing plants here. You know, that's huge. That's like we're putting it out there.
Yeah.
In the United States, 78 people die because of opioid overdoses every single day.
Yeah.
78.
It's insane, man.
But you also have to try to find the difference and to get them to admit that there's a difference between opiates and opioids, because that's also a big problem that they want to try to lump them in together. I don't know a whole lot of people that I know of that have died from the opiates, the Tylenol 3, the codeines, and the Vicodins. But once you get up into Percocet, OxyContin, fentanyl, and Dilaudid, now you're talking people are dead. And those are the synthetic.
Oxycontins and Roxycontins and oxycodones and
whatever you want to call it. It's always the opioids because it's the synthetic. Your body can't handle synthetics. It's not natural. A natural dopamine release through an opiate, it seems to be at least not as deadly that I know of. But the synthetic pills, people got to be careful when their doctors give them painkillers. You got to say, is this a synthetic or not? And if they want to give you a synthetic, you just tell them no. Tell them no. You take the other stuff. You can still get you can still get a buzz off the other stuff, and be probably just as good. But the point is the synthetics are. I've taken them. I went back to my doctors like, look, I don't want this shit, dude. As soon as I took it, I felt like, high as a kite, obviously. And then when it started to wear off, I wanted more instantly. And then my entire body started to feel like it hurt. The whole body. And that was my body telling me, you better go take that drug. It was making up shit. It was like, damn, my back hurts. Damn, my knee hurts. Damn, my neck hurts. Everything hurts. Gimme. I had, and that's off of like a day's worth. That's on it being just on it a day. So I know the stranglehold. I know it. Sometimes you have to, be able to control it though. I was able to go back in and hand my doctor back a bottle and say, I don't want it. Give me something else. I don't want it.
Yeah, strong. A lot of people can't do that. Let me throw some quick statistics at you guys just to.
After that, I have something really quick.
Yeah, just to put.
Actually, I gotta go, you guys.
You got 2 seconds. Let me just throw this at you. Just something to think about real quick. In DC alone, so far in 2016 or 17, there's been over 500 missing children cases just in DC. Okay, Eric, you said that how many people die from heroin overdose every day? 78 people a day. All right. I'm going to continue crunching these numbers, but just in DC, 500 so far this year. I'm going to see if I can calculate how many missing kids reports there are in the entire country and then compare those numbers, because I bet you they're comparable, and then when you see how much we hear about the heroin overdoses in this country versus how much we're hearing about the missing kids in certain areas of this country, it'll help lay the missing kids thing down. But that I think that's just some crazy numbers.
Well, we definitely have a big problem, obviously, with human trafficking and the missing kids. And the thing is after 24 hours, that a child missing for 24 hours, and a parent calls that number, it's automatically put into the database as a reported child missing.
Right.
So what you have to cross-reference the numbers of the ones that never came back.
Right. Right.
Which is a different number. It's about 50%, which is still too much. Too much, dude. There's a big fucking problem because look, where are they going, dude?
Yeah.
We're talking lots and lots and lots of people. And like in Cleveland, okay, they found a trash can with body parts in it today. They found a bucket with body parts in it a couple of days ago, and that's just in Cleveland. And it didn't even make headline national news. And you're talking about body parts being found in buckets, and people are like, okie dokie, guess let's go tune in and find out what's going on with our levy money in the Cavs stadium.
Yeah. Right on, man.
They just had this big thing on guns in the city because there was some gang violence that broke out on the east side, and a couple punk kids popped some caps in some other kids' asses. And now this big thing on guns with the city, and they want to start running gun campaigns, and it's like, boy, I'm sure glad you guys have figured out the problem. You've been running this.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying they can't seem to figure out the problem.
Exactly, and that gets me to, unfortunately, 5 teens have passed away last weekend due to the violence that took place, but they're not going towards the problem itself.
Yeah. I mean, last
year,
most
of it probably stems back for drugs. They're probably shooting each other over drug money or territory.
Well, apparently they classify.
Let's just go ahead and make a move on the guns. Let's leave them out there so they can still fight over drugs.
With that could have possibly stemmed what happened at the IX Center, and the IX Center stuff was gang related. So
right. Yeah, I mean, we can point to 9,000 different reasons before we would look at an inanimate object causing problems. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why these kids are acting the way they act, and most of those reasons they don't even know. They just don't even understand any better, because the system that they've put all their faith in, the system that has been designed over the last couple decades and has taught these kids everything is designed on the system, and the system don't care about them. That's exactly what they think. Everything is the system, and the system don't care about them. When it's totally wrong. So now you have people like this, and I'm not throwing any praise towards current politics, but I can point out a complete difference just within the airwaves, and that was if it was Barack Obama putting a video out today, meeting with the Women's Empowerment Caucus or whatever it was, his message would be more programs to help with equality. Okay, which means you're going to make more women dependent on a system to them. So that's not empowerment whatsoever. But then you have the empowerment meeting today, where you have the new system telling you, here is your opportunity. Now it's up to you to be better than me. It is completely different. I mean, they laid out a plan that is so far away from being dependent on a system than anything I've ever seen. Has nothing to do with sitting around and accepting dependency vouchers, hoping for equality after it's all said and done. It's a straight up plan to teach people, and women, because it's for women empowerment, to rise above the competitor, which is a man. That's the way it's supposed to be. That is exactly how you should wake up every morning. If you wake up every morning as a woman, you're like, how could I be better than every single person I walk past? And then you yawn, and you go about your day. But you don't want to wake up out of bed and say, I wonder how I can depend on somebody just to make me feel as good as they are. That don't even make sense.
Okay.
I gotta go.
I'm gonna put this inside.
I'll get one over on someone.
Let me know on how to pronounce this, guys. But this, I'm thinking to start the side chat so one of you guys can properly say it, because I know I'm gonna butcher the crap out of it. It's a pesticide that was supposed to be getting banned by the EPA, which is now being reversed so it can stay on the market.
Chlorpyrifos?
That's what it looks like to me.
That can't be a pie. That'd be chlorpyrifos.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah, there you
go. That
go.
would be my guess.
Yeah, chlorpyrifos. Cool. All right. Yo, Mike. I'm going.
All right.
I gotta go to bed.
All right, man. Well, thanks.
I gotta go night.
Nights.
Have a good one.
I hope you got a couple new subscribers tonight. I hope everybody that's watching is thumbing up your stream, and sharing it. And
call.
Everybody that's out there in the chat, I hope you guys all have a good night. I'm saying you can look and see the new shirts. because I'm going to share them with you. It's a shirt and on my mugs. They're good mugs. They say good quotes. I'm going to leave it up to you to click the link to know what the quotes are on the mugs. Not going to read them to you. It's a surprise.
Ooh.
Okay? And last but not least, seek the truth. Not my truth, but your own truth.
Always.
I got to go.
Peace out,
Peace.
B.
Take it easy, brother.
All right. Did you guys see that that link I just put inside the side chat for you guys in the Hangout?
Yeah, that chlorpyrifos.
However it's pronounced, it was supposed to be getting banned by the EPA for use, but the EPA now is reversing it. And this is a pesticide that is used for spraying things like corn, soybeans, fruits, nuts, and all of that stuff. And
golf courses, greenhouses, non-structural wood treatments such as utility poles and fence posts. Sorry, postus.
How many times a day do you say that, man?
And this was actually used as an insecticide inside of homes and different businesses, which it got banned back in, I believe it was in the early 2000s, from being used inside of residential areas. Then in 2012, it got banned from being used near public areas. And then the EPA was just going to just ban it completely due to it overstimulates the nervous system, causing nausea, dizziness, confusion, and at very high exposures can cause respiratory paralysis and can even affect a child's brain to give them lower IQ levels. So yeah, this is now about to be unbanned, so then it can go back into use or continue to be in use. The deadline is said to be Friday night when they have to finalize the revision, which I'm sure they'll have all of that done tomorrow. That's just to let everybody know.
Interesting.
And in other news, an Indonesian man swallowed a python.
Breaking news, dumpster fire behind a KFC in Nebraska. Dumpster fire behind a KFC in Nebraska.
Yeah, but this is put out by Hawaii News Now. 25-year-old swallowed a whole python on one of the islands.
How the hell does that happen?
20 feet long? 23 feet long?
No way.
Oh, he was swallowed by python. Oh, I hate being dyslexic.
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. My dyslexia really kicks in at times to where I didn't even see the by right there.
The shoe was definitely on the other foot.
It's true. It's true.
I was talking, but I was on mute. I'm happy I was on mute, though.
So the interesting part was, it was such a more interesting story whenever we were picturing this fella trying to eat this freaking snake.
Because I was saying while I was muted, I was like, do you guys think he ate it without noticing he ate it? Like,
oh, that's great. That's great.
Well, I'm glad there was only 28 people listening to this thing. Bobby did not put this on SoundCloud. Yeah.
Which, by the way, Bobby, can you tell everybody the SoundCloud how to get to the page, and I'll put it into if you could send me the link on Twitter, I'll put it in.
I'm going to drop it in the chat real quick.
All right. Yeah, I told everybody. I think you dropped out for a few minutes at the beginning of the show, and I told everybody about how you've been taking the time to go through and put these shows on the SoundCloud. So I'd like.
Well,
to,
that's not actually a freaking. Hold on, I'll put the real one up there so you guys don't have to copy and paste into your URL. You could do that if you'd like it. Just there are numerous ways to get there. But I put 0 Hour on there, After Hours, and then the Scattered Smothered Experiment goes on there. And if Chico starts his show up, we'll put that on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is if
we started it next week on Monday. I think
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah?
start for at 9 o'clock.
He committed himself. Yeah.
That's
Can I,
awesome news.
And then we did a
Can I-
tech talk. We did a tech talk last night. That was actually a really good show too. We did that over on Erick M2 channel.
we did?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it on
that was-
M2.
It was a really good show too, man. We covered a lot last night. We covered what happened in Congress. We covered all the talk about the 5G, all the talk. It was a good show.
Tech Talk's gonna be a good series, man. That's
It is.
I'm kind of jealous of that one. That Erick snagged that one. I was like, oh man, I wanted to do like prep and tech.
Don't be. You know what, Chico?
No, I'm
don't. It,
I was just talking. Just talking, man. I was joking.
Yeah.
Can I add something really quick? This is about the Indonesian man that was swallowed by the python. His name was Akbar. That is the end of my conversation with this story.
I would ask you what your point is, but I have a feeling I wouldn't want to get into
Yeah, his name is literally Akbar. And he was eaten by a snake. So,
Hey, yo, this is totally irrelevant, like 100,000%.
It's all good. It's
But
what we do best.
I've been using this headset for about a year and a half. I have a PlayStation 4 Gold headset, and it has a microphone on the side, and you pull it out, and it comes out just a bit when you pull it. At least I thought so for the last year and a half. Just last night, I pulled it just a little harder than usual, I guess, and it comes out like straight up in front of my mouth. And all this time for a year and a half, I've been using it pretty much closed. I thought I was using it the right way, and a year and a half later, I learned how to properly use the microphone on my headset.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was interesting, and I'd share.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
I should have saved that for a tech talk.
We can talk tech. Tech is actually
The big thing.
it's a huge thing. I mean, it's where the future is going. It's where it's where it is now.
Okay, I dropped that link in the chat. So if anybody's interested in going over there, checking that out, we appreciate it. Even if you don't listen, share it so your friends can listen and enjoy us having these conversations. As crazy as they do go, Python eating the dude, etc.
Named Akbar.
SoundCloud is awesome in the sense that you could download the SoundCloud app and then you could follow iCitizenNews on SoundCloud and you could turn on automatic download for the podcast. So if you can't always make it to the computer to watch or watch it on your phone, you don't have to do that. Your phone will automatically download it as an MP3 file and you can play it back through the app while you're driving in your car if you just wanted to listen to it as like a talk radio show. Or
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and it's real easy to do that. You just download the SoundCloud app, search iCitizenNews, click the follow button, and then go into the setting and make sure you have automatic downloads for your subscriptions turned on, and it'll automatically put it on your device when it's on Wi-Fi. And you can just listen to it wherever, whenever. If you don't want to use data, download them at home, do it manually, and then listen to them when you're out of the house off of Wi-Fi. But they're MP3s. They're a lot smaller than a video file. So if you have any kind of a data plan that's over a couple gig a month, then feel free to use it. Listen to it.
I want to say one thing really quick. We have just now reached our 400th like on Facebook.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Big 400.
Coolio.
That's
That's a
good.
really
That
good
is-
milestone.
That's good.
Didn't you say something about going and getting some cider this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
No. I might.
Yeah. Pour it up.
Debating on how work goes.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go to Six Flags this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just talking about that with my boy, man. I was like, man, that's the only one I haven't been to, and I really want to go. And he's talking about going out there in June.
The one in Jersey's fun.
The one in Jersey, I'm tired of. I went there too many times.
So we're talking about the one in Atlanta.
It's
ATL,
Atlanta.
Dirty South.
Chico, man, that's only like 30 minutes from here. So when you do come up, hit me up.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's sweet. That's cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I used to go a lot. Like that was a staple for my childhood. I haven't been in a while because I don't know, you get busy with life and whatnot. But I think it's supposed to be a nice weekend. I think I want to get out and go ride a roller coaster or two. I think that's going to be great.
Good times.
Yeah, that should be fun. It's always fun to get away and just do a little stuff.
Yeah, that's what I like about Six Flags. Of course, this is not a sponsorship at all to Six Flags, but I do like how there's like his own little town to where you don't even feel like you're just where you are. You just feel like you're in your own little area for the day.
Right.
Six Flags, if you're out there and you do feel like you want to throw that sponsorship this way,
Hey, hey.
No kidding.
feel free.
Chico said he's willing to put the old man mask on like in the commercial and dance in front of a bus. You know what I mean?
Oh man, we're live. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's got it.
As long as they don't got me trying to tell no lies, then I'm cool with it. You're trying to sell amusement. I'm all for amusement. Hey, what about what do you guys think about that? Well, B just tweeted out the 3 TSA workers exposed to food substance hazmat in New York City airport.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, food substance hazmat. What the heck is that?
Dang, you guys don't read my articles, do you?
I reposted it earlier, but I was a little tied up.
You know my answer to that is I trust that you're putting out awesome information. So I know that you'll tell me this stuff when we talk about it. So it's hard to keep up on all the stuff that all of us are putting out when we're all trying to continuously put out stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm going with Mike's answer.
I'm going with Mike. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, they found some food inside of one of the bags, and then when they opened up the container to see what it was, they started feeling ill a little later on. So then they had to lock down the terminal for a bit and do some hazmat stuff and all of that other stuff.
Hey, John, yes, I will absolutely follow you back on Periscope, but I think if you go back into Periscope and then go to my my account page, there's a little circle right next to where it says unfollow. Click that. Make sure it's white. I think it's white. Make sure it's white because it'll say that the notifications have been turned back on.
Oh, wow, this is a big story. California had Assembly Bill 1104, called the California Political Cyber Fraud Abatement Act. That would stop, quote unquote, fake news.
What was it called again? What was the act?
It was Assembly Bill 1104. And this pretty much was put into their state senate, but it was removed after free speech got involved.
All right. So House Bill 1104 was presented actually a couple of years ago. Let's see what it says.
No, it was introduced. I'm looking at it right here, February 17th, 2017.
1104?
Yeah.
They must have renamed an old bill then, because there was a bill that was in the 2015 to 2016 session called House Bill 1104, which has to do with...
This is Assembly Bill.
It's an
Assembly
act
bill.
providing for the use of investigational drugs, biological products, and devices by terminally ill patients.
No, that's way different. It's an Assembly Bill.
Assembly bill. All right. There we go. California Environmental Quality Act.
Nope.
That's the California Assembly Bill 1104 from February. Political Cyber Fraud Abatement Act. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's a California bill also. Legislature 1718, February 17th. Existing law makes it unlawful for a person with intent to mislead, deceive, or defraud to commit an act of political cyber fraud as defined. Existing law defines the term political cyber fraud to include a knowing and willful act concerning a political website that is committed with the intent to deny a person access to a political website. Deny a person the opportunity to register a domain name for a political website, or to cause a person reasonably to believe that a political website has been posted by a person other than the person. God, I can't read stuff that was written by lawyers and legal aids. So much. All right. The bill would modify the definition of the terms political cyber fraud and political website. So the bill would modify the definition of terms political cyber fraud and political website to include internet websites that urge or appear to urge the support or opposition of candidates for public office.
And that even says appear to urge, which makes it very open-ended.
Interesting.
Something pretty interesting to share here. So St. Louis. If you live in St. Louis, I got some good news and some bad news. Let's see. The bad news is St. Louis is set to lose about 1,000 jobs. The good news is St. Louis is looking at the minimum rate, the minimum wage being raised by 43%, which is huge. Right now it's minimum wage in St. Louis is $7.65 an hour, and it's actually going up to $11 an hour, and that's why 1,000 people will be put out of their jobs.
That's a major double-edged sword.
Yep.
Major double-edged sword.
Because that's what just happened overseas that KFC did with their locations, and I really wish I could remember what country that was in. I'll have to look that up because I keep coming back to that, and I can't remember the origin of it. So I'm gonna have to re-research that. But that's what happened over there. The country said they wanted to raise the minimum wage. The KFC said, "Screw it, we're gonna try this here. This will be our pilot country to do it," and they replaced all the front of the house workers with touchscreens.
I mean, but when you look at, okay, so they gave us a little numbers here, which I like. Well, they say 1,000 people will lose their job, but roughly 25,000 workers in the city currently make minimum wage. So 1,000 people will lose their jobs, but 24,000 people will get a pay raise.
That's the
of
sacrifice.
43%.
The 1,000 people is the sacrifice for the other 24,000.
Yeah.
Man.
And I mean that's pretty I mean, that's going to be a huge thing because for like they're saying here is like the academics found women teenagers and those high school degree or less people are the ones who are suffering from not making a higher minimum wage.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of really being really broad because it's a lot more people than that suffering from minimum wage.
Sure enough. Even people that went to college.
Yeah, people who worked their whole life and now they're forced to work at minimum wage because they're like I have a neighbor, and he did tennis courts, and he said, back in the day in Indianapolis, that was a super rare trait, and he'd make like $25 an hour striping tennis courts and laying the asphalt and painting them and all that stuff. And says now down here it's like minimum wage doing that. He said he was making triple what he makes down here when he was 25 years old, and he's 55 years old now.
Right.
So I can't say that minimum wage is just for, housewives and teenagers and college students. No, minimum wage is a majority of the people are working minimum wage jobs, even 2 or 3 of them at a time. Just to try to get their bills covered. I mean, my sister, thank God, I have a younger sister. She just recently got a good job at a doctor's office because before that she was working at the mall and she was working at a restaurant. And when she had time, she would go and work at another restaurant. So my other sister's working like 3 jobs, and it's because her Obamacare insurance is like $300 a month. Like, why is her insurance so much, bro? And she's making such a little bit of money that she has to work. And I don't know. It's crazy to me, bro.
It is crazy. Yeah, I think Mama Lioness knows what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. It's
because all of that.
About the corporatism. All about
because of that. They have to. Nobody can be there with the kids at the house. Everybody's at work all the time, so the kids are left open for indoctrination at the school system. That's the daycare system that the government runs. That's it's a vessel for indoctrination.
It is, and then that child will not be able to even get the proper outside of education system knowledge because they were inside the education system for too long.
Yeah.
They were in it from whatever time they go into school, like let's say 7:30 a.m. until when they get out of the after school program at 6:30 p.m. That entire time, that 11 hours a day.
Spending more time with the school than with the parents. So they're, that's what they're learning more from.
It's not even. I think if we go back to Tech Talk last night and think about the funneling of the technology and the communication, I think it's not even at the school anymore. I think that they've just bypassed it. They're leaving Common Core in place to continue what it's been doing to infiltrate the minds of the youth, I guess. But then when you start looking at the device is now what's doing it.
And then that falls into the hours when the child is home.
Yeah.
And they're just so embedded into the technology because of school and everything else.
Well, it falls into 24 hours at this point. It's not let me sit down and watch a movie on my TV or go outside for an hour and kick a ball around. It's not a situation like that where you have to choose to do that for a certain amount of time or only when you're making a call. It's just it's being taken to school with them. It's being carried on the bus and used as their audio or video device on the bus. It's being used at home and in the pocket for social media and communication while they're doing their homework or having their dinner or sitting on the couch and watching a movie. It's become a part of the psyche of the children, and all of that, in my opinion, is directly related to the fact that all of it happened within such a short burst of time. The early indoctrination for all of us with mobile technology was with our flip phones and our slide phones and the first version of the smartphone. But once like the second generation smartphones came out, they had all of their app stores figured out. They had all of their connectivity to the digital towers figured out, the 3G service, all of that figured out. Then it was on, and that's been going on. We'll call it 10 years, maybe even a little less, but we'll call it 10 years just for a round number. It's been going on for 10 years. And all of that happened within that 10 years. Look, we had regular landlines for 80 years, right? We sent mail for hundreds of years.
You've got mail.
Now you've got mail. That's the takeover. That's where the focus of the indoctrination, I think, the redirection of focus has been placed there. And for all of us, it's not just our kids. I feel like a hypocrite when I talk like this because I carry around 2 devices with me, and I have a tablet, and I have a laptop, and I have a smart TV. I feel like a hypocrite, but it's back to the whole, and the whole purpose of the title of this show is the future. What can we do to be happy? And it goes back to the whole, and this is just my opinion. It goes back to the whole making sure that we understand that, yes, we know why things are the way they are and what they may be doing, but the only way to live, unless you're ready to pack up and move into woods and eat off of the land and detach yourself from everything, then we just have to play ball. It is what it. We have to be happy. So we, even though we know about it and we don't like it, all that we can do is try to put a smile on our faces and get through every day. And I'm okay with that. I have to make money to pay my rent. I have to, go to work and do what I have to do to get it done. Eventually, someday, I'd like to see it in my lifetime. But eventually it'll come to a head. It'll come to a head. A politician will do something stupid. Pedogate will reveal itself to be true, and the non-believing majority of the population's heads will explode as a result of it, and something will happen where a large portion of the majority will wake up at once. So, and Lee, I agree with you 100,000%. I hate my phone. I do. I hate what it does, how it's made our youth unable to have a face-to-face conversation with each other.
I hate how much I love it.
Exactly.
That's just me being honest. I hate how much I love my phone.
Yeah.
It's like what you're saying. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's like, it's not just the kids, because I find myself having to like put my stuff down, my phone.
What? Oh no, I think we just dropped the call. Hold on, let me get everybody back in. My computer did not go to sleep. You guys see that? That's crazy. I find myself all by myself. All right, give me a moment. Start a new one. Bear with me a second, getting it straightened out now. My computer's running real slow too. Interesting. Unresponsive. Wait. Well. Let's get everybody back. Let's get everybody back. You guys there?
Yeah.
What's up, brother? What happened?
I have no clue what happened. Everything got all fuzzy. It said something went to sleep, like the computer went to sleep. I don't remember it going to sleep, but whatever.
It heard us talking bad about it.
It's like, hey, I'm part of this beast system you speak of.
Right. It fizzled out right at the right. Listen, man, everything's going wonky. I'm getting pages unresponsive notifications for my live dashboard, and like I don't even know if I'm still live at this point. So anybody looking at the chat?
Yeah, you are live.
Right. Good to know.
But I don't know if we are. I don't know. Well, our audio just came through, I think.
Yeah, you are. I got you guys back up. Everything kicked me out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, let Eric finish what he was saying while he still remembers.
Go ahead, Eric. Pick back up, man. We're good. Eric, you still with us, buddy?
I hear you.
I can hear you. Oh, he dropped out preemptively.
Can you hear me?
I got you now.
Yeah.
What the heck just happened? That's weird.
Yeah, dude, my Hangout shut down completely, so it just dropped out of the show. But
okay, what I was trying to say was, I don't know if those that follow me on Periscope, most likely not. I'm gonna try to do it on YouTube once I can get live streaming back on my main channel again. But the purpose of the live streams that I've been doing for the past few days are, most people work at a desk inside of an office building or inside of another type of building, and are at that desk all day long and don't get the opportunity, unfortunately, to go outside. So what the live streams are about is pretty much listening to the waves. You get to hear the waves. It's a calming sound. You get to look at the lake, at the water, which, even though it's virtual, you're still able to use the technology that you have in front of you to at least get somewhat of calmness. That's the point of the streams that I'm going to be doing more often of.
Yeah, take a little time out, getting out to nature and giving other people an opportunity to do that with you.
Definitely. And like for me personally, I'm gonna be at the lake a lot more, especially in the spring and summer.
You were there
I'm gonna
earlier
be
today?
I'm gonna be taking my laptop out there, hotspotting to my laptop, and doing all my citizen workouts there in the daytime, enjoying nature. What's out
that's
there.
the way to be. I was just thinking that tonight. I was like, man, I wish I could sit out in my backyard and not have to worry about this wind blowing in my face while I go in this live stream. But I was like, let me not do it tonight. But eventually, I'm going to end up doing a couple streams from the backyard.
I'll come down, man. I'll come down for a week this summer, and we'll build a enclosed porch around your back door, man.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That'd be really dope.
Yeah, that would be super.
That would be a good time.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and for me, go ahead.
I was just going to apologize to everybody for it cutting out like that. I think 0 hour, if episode 5 next week has these kinds of technical glitches, that every single one of them has been one that I wasn't expecting, and I'm pretty good at troubleshooting, especially the collective of people that we have helping me troubleshoot. I'm going to declare the show haunted. So whether it's my laptop or we'll just call it the show, I'll make that declaration. Hopefully I won't have to.
Yeah, and I was going to say that, like, I can speak on this personally just due to my age and growing up in this whole technology thing since I was a little kid. There's not many of us inside of this newer generation, well, kind of newer generation, the quote-unquote millennials, that actually get out into nature or go outside of their homes or outside of these buildings that they stay inside of all day. We've turned into a society to where we're just indoors 24/7, with the exception of being inside of a vehicle to go to the next building.
Yeah.
We got to change that. We need to be outdoors more, because when you're just inside of this building, well, and whatever buildings that you're inside of,
you can get some fresh air.
You're not getting fresh air. You're not getting proper sunlight, especially inside of, and I'll even mention it with the schools. They have the new energy efficient windows, or even the older energy efficient windows. They prevent UV rays from getting inside of there to get to the child's skin. So they're going to be vitamin D deficient. Cause them to not even be able to learn the way that they would learn, even if they were getting the knowledge that they were supposed to be getting in the first place.
Right.
There's a lot of factors on why the children aren't learning the ways that they used to. It's the technology, because we become so technologically dependent.
Right.
It's we're not going out into nature anymore and getting things like natural sunlight, natural air. We're not even getting the oxygen that we need to our brains anymore. When you're inside of these buildings, these stuffy buildings, and not having any windows open, you're lowering the oxygen that's inside of that room for a good amount of time until you either turn on the ventilation system or you open up that door. That's something for everybody to think about. It really is.
Open up your windows. Me, I have a CPAP machine, so it's forced into me at the end of the day.
Indo, outdoor, open up the window. Sorry, that's old mystical and Trick Daddy. Huge. Who said that?
Huge.
I'm a free trader.
Well,
Oh no, here we go.
Another Trump soundboard.
Stamina. I don't believe that Hillary has the stamina.
She doesn't have the stamina.
I said she doesn't have the stamina.
That's pretty dumb, man.
Good stuff. All right, well, we're coming up to hour and 20 minutes at this point. I take a second here to acknowledge, you guys in the chat. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys have any questions at all?
And with that too, I want to make a comment to like 222 mission. She was talking about how she's using Skype more. I consider it a difference to a certain extent if you're using the things that we have, like internet, if you're having communication with people, especially if you're not near them. It's another difference though, like what a lot of teens do, to where they can live a block away from their best friend, but they'll rather talk to them on the internet than meet face to face and eat at a pizza place or go watch a movie together.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll text each other in the same room.
Yeah, in the same room. I have a personal friend who used to do the same exact thing to me when I lived in Jersey. Who'll be in the same exact room, and he'll rather text me than actually be there and have a conversation with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it all the time. My mom used to yell at me for shouting up the steps when I was a kid. And
Candy, how you know that song?
I remember the day no, it's all good, man. I remember the day I got my first text message from the living room upstairs, and it didn't matter so much about yelling at him about yelling up the steps. So I need some mystical in my life tonight.
Yeah, for real. So you can't go wrong with some old mystical or some old, just old music. You can't go wrong with 90s, late 90s, even early 90s rap music.
Did mystical do Still Fly? Was that thing? Gator boots and your pimped out Gucci suit.
No, that's not. No,
that's 3 6 Mafia, man.
No, man, no, that's Big Timers.
Big Timers?
Yeah, that's Big Timers. That's
So Fly,
that's Cash Money. That's Cash Money. That's Birdman. That's Birdman and Manny Fresh.
All right, I thought that.
They were a group together called Big Timers a long time ago. They're from Louisiana. That's Cash Money. Yeah, that was before Manny Fresh left them.
Yeah, man. Put some respect on that.
Yeah, put some respect on my name.
Good stuff.
Oh man.
He did do Back That Thing Up too, though, right? Like that was like major hit.
No, well, that was not big. That was from Cash Money Records, but that was Juvenile.
Juvenile, not Mr.
That's another rapper. Yeah, that was Juvenile.
Right on.
Yeah. Cash Money had a lot of songs come out of there, big songs back in the day. Even earlier now, even because Drake, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne.
Wake up.
There's so much comes from Cash Money.
Amy remembers Bone Thugs. Hell yeah, good stuff.
Oh yeah, man. That used to be my stuff when I was a teenager. Even now, I still like some Bone Thugs and some Tupac. So I listen to some 3 6 Mafia. I like old music. Old music is good.
Oh, Stay Fly. That was the 3 6 Mafia song, right?
Yeah, gotta stay fly.
Till I die. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I was a huge rap head, man.
Good stuff. 1989. That's when I got my first turntables. It's hard to remember it all, though, especially at 40. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm 29, man. So,
Bobby, how old are you?
I'm enjoying every day until I turn 30, man, and then I know it's all downhill from there.
Nah, man.
I'm 29 as well. I just turned 30 in July.
Oh, I turned 30 in August, man. You're 87, huh?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best year.
Bobby, are you really 29?
Best year.
Huh?
Are you really 29?
I'm really 29 years old.
All right. Well, put some respect on my age then. Yeah, Lee.
I think some days I think Erick's older than all of us, though. In some ways, Erick is older than all of us.
Well, dang.
Man, he's on point for his age. It's so good to see. It's honestly refreshing to see that. Like because you would think that there's no more. There's no more. Like I hate to be like. I mean, we were just talking about rap, but like Young Jeezy said, the last of a dying breed. Like that's pretty much like how I felt like about us, like the people who believe in looking for the truth about, even not even just in truth seekers, but like, because I'm gonna, admit something here. I'm a strong constitutionalist. Like I believe in the Constitution big time. And I felt like that is leaving. Like it's slowly being degraded.
And the thing that gets me with that too is you are correct with that too, in my opinion. And there's many people, especially in my generation, and it's going to be worse when the younger generation gets older, understand the Constitution or anything about the country itself. They don't understand anything of the founding. They don't understand anything of the history that took place. None of it.
Hardly anybody understands that the Constitution that you live under right now isn't the Constitution that was written back in 1776.
And I'm sure everybody heard this statement before. The problem we have too is if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
And it does not have to be in the same way that history was before.
And I know I don't have to say it to the people here in this chat, but like, oh man, it's just hard, man, to understand. Like the people that just don't realize history is actually more interesting than all of these fictional TV shows and things like that. Like if they just got interested or found some time to indulge in looking into history and like to me, I don't know, I've always been interested in history, like the Nazis, like Hitler, like that stuff is crazy. Like one country fighting the whole world, like fighting a whole bunch of countries, like all of this stuff, like mysteries like Operation High Jump, like Antarctica, like all of that stuff is super interesting to me. I don't know, I don't even watch TV, so
I stopped.
You see where my interests are. I don't have interests in the mainstream anything, not just mainstream news, mainstream. I don't care about any of it. TV shows or.
And I'm very similar to that, but for me, I like simple. I like being outdoors. I'm going to be at the lake more. I actually had an associate of mine even say to me today, and to me, he's like, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "I'm relaxing at the lake on my laptop. What's up?" And he's like, "Well, why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Just getting some fresh air and doing some work on my laptop." And then literally he's like, "Well, why would you do something like that when you could do the same thing at home?" Then long story short, I was pretty much kind of almost in a sense being shamed because I don't do what's the social norm of sitting at home all day, computer or stuff, because I'll actually do it outdoors. I'll just hotspot from my phone right to my laptop.
I don't know what's going
That's
on,
what we're using.
every screen on my computer just went black.
What do you have running in the background?
All right, I think I'm good. I think the RAM called back up. I tried to do a file search. I guess it kind of jacked up my RAM usage. My bad. Hope the stream's okay, I hope.
You're gonna just need to grab you another RAM stick.
Yeah, man, I was looking it up yesterday. I'm just gonna go ahead and get some good.
They got them at that store you put us on to. I'm not giving no shout outs.
The thing is, though, Mike, you shouldn't be having those issues regardless. You have something but running in the background.
No, I got
that's plugging it up.
I got a lot of things running at once on just off the laptop. There's a lot of windows open between the external monitor and my television.
I'm talking about programs.
As far as programs are concerned, I really only have Chrome, OBS, and the Hangouts program running.
What about Steam? Steam Auto turns on. Auto enabled, whatever it's called, whenever you set up your computer.
Even then, that shouldn't be using that much of his RAM, unless it's downloading an update in the background or something like that.
I think it's good. So let's see. Did anybody ask any questions? Shit got technically challenged after I asked if you guys had any questions for us.
Oh, good thing we weren't doing a Tech Talk Live.
Oh, mine is August 23rd.
But pretty much where I was going with that whole thing, that last part I was talking about, is the social norms. The social norms are just insane now, and it all involves directly with technology. To where if you're
and it is sad how you can be shamed out of doing things that you enjoy because you're not doing what is socially acceptable, or
exactly, like not even just with that, but like in the sense of the technology, you have to be using the technology nonstop to be socially accepted. I actually think there's a Black Mirror episode on that. Another example is when I was growing up, well, within the past 2 to 3, probably the last year when I was in high school, senior year, about senior year is when Snapchat came out. I had to make a Snapchat. I was one of the only kids inside the entire school that did not have a Snapchat.
Yeah.
I was not considered socially normal because I did not have a Snapchat, and I would not sit there sending photos to all the people in the school like everybody else would. I'm not doing that crap. If people want to have a conversation with me,
I never had a Snapchat.
Right in front of my face.
Yeah. I already have about, maybe 20 apps that I use on a regular basis. I just don't have time in my life for anymore.
Yeah, I ended up making a Snapchat just to see what it was, and I was just chatting with 2 of my good friends on there. Just like, this is complete crap. What you do on Snapchat, you can do on Facebook, on Twitter, on any other social media everybody's got.
Yeah.
I can barely even keep up with my own Twitter and Facebook I got now.
Yeah.
Shit.
I understand, like, what's the need for all of them? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Saturation. Why take the time to go look up your local park to go have fun when you can look up your brand new social media app? It's just more exciting.
Exactly, and why just show your friend something when you could show it to the whole world?
Yep. Yep. So Lee's brother's 4-year-old Lee's brother's 4-year-old son just got a phone. 4 years old. I'm seeing it on a regular basis. They make devices
even with that
specifically
too.
for those kids now.
They do, and even with that, I was having a conversation with a coworker of mine. His brother has a 6-year-old, and his brother's about to buy the 6-year-old the brand new iPhone.
Yo,
When
I'm
that
not
comes
gonna
out-
lie. I was thinking about buying my 5-year-old son a phone.
Yeah.
He doesn't live with me. He lives with his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and just make it easier for me to communicate with him more freely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy though, because you could give him the phone and he knows how to use it just as good as you do. Like, they make these things for it to be super easy.
At my old shop, I remember there would be kids trying to show me on how to do my own job back when I was repairing
And
computers.
they design the app so it like you get rewards for just certain thing or that certain thing, so it gives you a false sense of achievement, So it encourages you to learn how to use it and to use it well, so that further the and the addiction.
Bobby, wasn't there a Black Mirror episode about this?
Yes.
I can't remember what episode it was, but I definitely remember that scenario.
Currency, credit score, or what our modern day thought of credit score was all social media.
You were correct on that. Yep, I remember it now. I remember it clearly. That was a crazy episode.
You know what? We should do a trivia night. I should host a trivia night on this channel.
I'm down.
Dude, I hosted trivia for 15 years, man.
Depending on the type of trivia.
You know what we could do? How many people in this chat would sing karaoke if I gave you a link to Skype? Listen, man, I got 50,000
all the way down to the ground.
karaoke files. I've worked here for 15 years. And I will email you the MP3 file and play the lyrics on the screen, and you can sing right into the Hangout. That would be awesome. Karaoke and trivia night.
I don't know how many people would do that.
That would be insane,
you'd
man.
be
That would be
surprised.
too insane.
maybe at the event, but I don't know on a hangout.
I think we should do that.
But I'm not doing any of it anyway. Dude, you do not want to hear my voice.
And they got to do it with video too.
Video.
Well, I don't know about that. You might get some.
Oh man, it's a weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
It gets a little strange going on.
Get Eric to sing "My Heart Will Go On."
No.
You know what, Eric? You could do it out by the lake with your laptop.
No.
Oh man! All right. Well, I am bringing it with me in August, though. I will put that out there. Bringing a whole PA and everything.
Hey, did you guys see they're doing tour dives to the Titanic now?
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
How much is that?
Oh, well, probably like a lot. I don't know. I just seen it. Like I don't know. I think the first one is booked for a couple months from now. So I don't think they've done it yet. Or at least not So regular people, probably the company has. I'm pretty sure they've had to have in order to be wanting to do it as a business.
I've got one person in the chat who has said that they will.
I knew it would be Candy Franklin. I knew it.
Done deal. Got to do the duet thing. Don't go breaking my heart. We got to do that. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, Candy and Eric could sing a song together. That would be sweet.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eric don't sing.
Not yet, you don't, buddy.
If you can miraculously get me a deal with a company that can make us some money from me having the voice that I have, then maybe.
I bet you got the
But
voice of an
until then,
angel. You just don't know it yet.
On that note, I will mute.
It's karaoke, by the way. Nobody expects anything spectacular with karaoke. That's the whole fun part of it. That's what got me through hosting 5 nights a week for 15 years, man.
You know, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to everybody. I ain't doing it because I'll probably break an eardrums, man.
Old school hip hop karaoke's fun.
Well, if it's something like that, that's different. But if it's like some singing, like my heart could go on and stuff, nobody's coming back to the street, man.
I don't know. I think people would have to have a few drinks in them to even want to start attempting to want to do that.
That's what does it. That's the start. Now there's your few hardcore karaoke fans that come out just to do karaoke, which is cool. I can dig it. But there's times that nobody wants to sing, and I found out the worst song to do in karaoke ever, no matter how much experience you have as a host, is Blue by Eiffel 65. I'm blue, that song. You know what I'm talking about? I got a blue house with a blue window. You guys know what the hell I'm talking about or no?
Yeah, the blue song. Yeah.
They
were screwing with you. They wanted you to keep singing it.
No, not gonna keep singing it. So if nobody will sing, there's like some tricks you can do to get people to open up the books, right? You start telling them to pick songs for you. And I did that a couple times and never did it again afterwards. I sang Eiffel 65. I sang Bette Midler. I sang all kinds of the craziest, dumbest stuff. But you know what? It got people to open the books. It got them to eventually come up and sing too. And, you know,
Love Shack, baby.
A bazillion times.
Oh man, that'd be so great. All the old songs, man. Love Shack.
See, warming up. This is how we do it.
Why you put that in my head, man?
Yep.
That's stupid.
Standard equipment or a house. Karaoke is a huge biz here. Yeah, it's fed my family on it for many, 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 many years. Man, I don't know what kind of weird tech stuff is going on tonight, but hopefully we still have the ability to stream like this when the networks get a lot faster. Cause I don't see it.
What the heck?
They're singing Love Shack in the chat. Good for y'all.
I'm telling you, you put that in somebody's head, it's over.
That's it.
All day tomorrow at work.
Oh, man.
You guys can thank me.
Dreaming about it tonight.
That's my gift to you.
There you go. That's love right there.
I'm like Bobby's going to be singing it later on tonight. But why is it stuck in my head?
It is a good time, though. I will say it does bring a lot of people out of their shells. Gives a lot of people something fun to do. That really is just about as harmless as you can get. I mean, I've had speakers knocked over, people getting in fights in the bars and stuff, but that's not because of the karaoke. And trivia is a good time too, getting together with a group of people and, you know, answering some questions.
If they start fighting, just tell them jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. All right, let's see if I can show you guys here. Shrink this down. Shrink this down. There we go. See if you guys can see this. This is all karaoke music. It's on my my external hard drive. Screen share for you guys.
Should copyright strike for doing something like that?
What? Just
shut your channel down
showing my list
for us having karaoke.
Oh, I didn't say I was playing anything. I'm just trying to show you how much karaoke's on this friggin' hard drive. There's so much on there. You guys could pick pretty much any song and it would be there. There's so much. I spent so much money on karaoke music. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sugarland. Yep. See, they're talking about it now. Oh, Leave Easy wants to do some Kid Rock. Yep. See, we got to figure out a way to do Skype karaoke so we can get the faces on the screen. All right. Well, Eric, you still around? Anybody else here?
Man, he clammed up quick when you started talking about him singing something.
He just got up and walked away. That's it. Done and done. Dropped his headset on the desk and said,
well,
ow.
Dropped the mic before he even started.
It's all good. Listen, guys, we should round it up. We're at an hour and 45 minutes now. I really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I think this happened last week too, where Eric walked away at the very end of the show. So I'd like him to be able to come back before I actually kill the stream. But Chico or Bobby, do you guys have any final thoughts this evening? Anything you want to say to anybody?
No, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for always supporting us. And
what's your YouTube channel name?
Mine is Independent Press Project.
There you go. So Monday at 9 o'clock, right?
Yes, Monday at 9 o'clock. We'll be live streaming from now on.
Yep.
Right on.
How about you, Bobby?
Scattered Smothered Experiment will be live tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with me and my brother on the Scattered Smothered Experiment YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate all the support we get from you guys. Please share the links from the website and go check out the new SoundCloud. Share that with your family and friends as well.
And I want to extend another big thank you, Bobby, for taking the time to do that, because that's huge, man. The ability for people to be able to put this stuff on their devices and or just stream it from that particular app as an audio file and not have to worry about using so much of their data by streaming a video file over YouTube. It's huge. It really is a game changer.
It is, man.
Watchers popping in. What's up, brother? Keep sharing. But yeah, really appreciate it, man. So thank you for taking the time to do that. It means a lot.
Hey, man, we're in this together.
That's right. Is that a Disney movie? That's a song in a Disney movie, isn't it? Mr. Anderson. Mr. A. In the heezy, Lee Beezy.
Just looking through the news, seeing if there's anything breaking.
What is the timing? What is the timing that Walters and Mr. Anderson come in at the same exact time?
That's
Oh, we were waiting for you, buddy.
Wrench Fest. Absolutely. Jay.
What up, Watchers and Mr. Anderson?
In the house. Eric, listen, we're you still with us, man? Or did you walk away again?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Chico, and I am IPP. I am both.
Well, Eric, the guys did their final thoughts for the night. Do you have any final thoughts for this evening?
That's a tough one because it's not even evening to me yet.
Any final thoughts about the Python?
He's trying to think of something extremely profound to say right now, but anything
you know me too well.
Go ahead.
You know me too well. So I'm not going to say what I was going to say before. Okay. Yeah, I do have something to say. Now, if you were to go to an airport, everyone, please do not bring your brass knuckles to the airport. That's my final thing I have to tell everybody today. It's not a good idea.
Did somebody do that?
Yes.
Where? What state?
Cleveland. They even tried bringing a weed whacker too.
A weed whacker?
Sir, I know you tried to get that to fit in your carry-on, but it's just not gonna make it. Sticking out. Wow, that's crazy. A weed whacker.
Oh man. Like no, I had to mow somebody's yard when I get there.
Could you imagine somebody kicking in the cockpit door with a weed whacker?
Oh, we
take me to Libya. Wow.
Oh man.
Good
Oh
times.
yo, I see that thing about the snake with the person inside it. That's pretty crazy.
Whose name was Akbar?
I haven't got that far into it. I just see the picture of the snake itself. More of a pictures guy. Words are too confusing, you know? No. Just kidding. Thanks, everybody. Everybody, for coming out.
All right. And I guess, my final thought for the evening, thank you for coming out, everybody. Really appreciate it. But just keep in mind, it's always greater to look past the small stuff. Keep love in the front of your minds. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Check out Bobby D tomorrow and Dabu on Friday, and B on Saturday, and Eric will be on pretty much everything that he can get onto.
Except Sunday.
Sunday,
I work throughout the day.
Independent Press Project on Mondays, and look for something to hopefully start on Tuesdays. The tech show we did last night, there's a couple of us really excited about doing it. So, hopefully we can get.
I actually have a thought. I was even thinking doing that every I can't say Friday because I can't guarantee Friday. I was thinking about doing it every Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday's a good time. It's the only real day that we have left in the evening with nothing going on. But we could start scheduling stuff too, going a little bit earlier. Doing a late night.
Sunday is just tricky for me because I'm days one Sunday, nights the next Sunday. So That's why I haven't been able to do truth lounges.
Right on. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out. We really appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. All right. Much love. Be safe. Stay strong. Keep a smile on your face, and just give love. All right. Good night, guys. See ya.